Welcome to r/relationship advice, where we read stories about people in nasty relationships with no cliffhangers as usual. If you are new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe to join our awesome community. And without any further ado, let's dive right in. And the first one is titled, My 25 female boyfriend 24 male of 5 years just disclosed to me that he does not believe women should be allowed to vote. I don't want to cause any political debates. If it is necessary for context, obviously I believe that women should be allowed to vote. I am so confused, I don't know what to think. I'm not even sure if this is the proper sub, but I just feel that I need some advice. In the time I have known him, my boyfriend has always felt politically independent, or so I thought. Politics was never an issue between us at all. However, he just admitted to me that over the past year he has grown more and more extreme in his views to the point that he believes women have ruined the country, we are American, and that they should not be allowed to vote. He says he did not feel comfortable telling me about this sooner because he thought he would lose me. I am upset, and I cannot tell if I am wrong to be upset about this because I know that everyone is entitled to have their own views, but now I just feel as though he does not even value my own input/views. He has assured me that he still thinks that I should be allowed to vote, but that women in general should not. This is a person I have been with for almost 5 years, we have talked about marriage, I don't know what to think. In all other aspects he is the perfect, most amazing partner, and I cannot imagine my life without him in it. But this suddenly has me rethinking about a lot. Am I wrong to be questioning our relationship over his new beliefs? As his girlfriend, am I supposed to be tolerant and respectful of his views even though I may strongly disagree? I cannot tell if I'm overreacting to this or not. The whole situation has made me feel terrible and I am so confused. Update. Hi everyone, I had no idea that this post would gain this much traction. I'm sorry that I have not been responding. I posted late-ish last night and have been at work today, so I have not had a chance to read the majority of the comments that have poured in. I am still at work, so I won't have time until later to read through everything. I wanted to say thank you to everyone that has offered me support. It has really helped me get through all of the self-doubt I have been facing. He really had me questioning this entire situation and whether I was overreacting or not. I'm going to confront my boyfriend later this evening. I can update again afterwards. Thank you again to everyone that has shared words of support and advice. It truly means a lot, even if my opinion is not valid to him, at least it is valid to all of you. People in the comments said, hi, yes, just throw the whole man out. Another person said, the best advice I ever saw was, don't marry a man unless you would be proud to have a son just like him. What are you doing, OP? Another person responded, in this situation I would ask if you would want him to raise your daughters. And guys, I'm curious, if your partner had extreme views like this, would you still want to be together with him or her? Or would you instantly end the relationship? Interestingly enough, OP raised concerns in the comments that many people took this very lightly and simply said, throw that guy out and end the relationship. However, OP on the other hand said that it's not so easy to end a long-term relationship just like that. Nonetheless, since there have been no further updates, I contacted OP and in fact she did leave her boyfriend at some point. However, she did not leave him instantly. And the next one is titled, My 25 male girlfriend 22 female wants to share our incomes. Thing is, I make roughly 7 times as much, advice please. So here is the deal. Me and my girlfriend have been together for a little under 3 years and have been living together for a few months. My girlfriend takes college classes and works part-time. I finished college 2 years ago, quickly got hired by the company I did my internship at, and within a year I got a promotion and a large pay raise, and I am now making roughly $150,000 a year while she makes $20,000 a year. Now she moved in with me a few months ago into the place I bought, so I pay nearly all costs, mortgage, electricity, water, etc. The only things she pays herself are non-essentials like Spotify, phone bill, Netflix and so forth. Now, recently, we got into a huge fight where she demanded we pool our money together and spend what is left after essential costs together, whereas currently I pay basically every essential and my own crap, use a bit to enjoy myself and put the rest into my savings. Now she seems to be jealous I got a lot more to spend, which is not really true since after monthly costs I put the majority in my savings account. In my eyes, she already gets an easy ride, and honestly, she's just shit with the money she does have. She spends it on stuff like stupidly expensive clothes and then complains she's broke at the end of the month. So, what do? I hate to put money in the way of our relationship, but if I'm honest, I'm questioning my relationship as there's no way I'm going to let her essentially spend my salary on stupid stuff. Edit, so there are so many comments, I'm having a hard time keeping up with it. If I don't respond, know that I'm trying to at least read your comment, but currently when I read and respond to one comment, I get 10 more. I just want to thank everyone for their responses, from the ones who yell gold digger to the ones who take a middle ground approach. Even those who yell about MGOW, which I guess means men go their own way or something, and those who are of the opinion I need to give her all my money because of a pink tax or something. All advice is appreciated and gives me an extra light to view this in. I had not expected my post to blow up like this though. And guys, I'm curious, what would you do in this situation? Would you give your significant other access to your money, even if she's apparently so bad at handling money? Let us know in the comments. A user in the comments said, she wants to spend the rest? 60k? Dude, girlfriend, there's no way I'm going to pool money with you because you're not responsible with your own money, let alone with mine. I already pay your expenses and I'm not going to sacrifice more money so you can spend more. Financial responsibility is important to me and I hope you start making it important to you as well. Another person said, I think that if you cannot trust her to spend your money responsibly, you cannot marry her. At which point, I'm not sure that you should be dating her. Like, at some point in a relationship, things merge. You move in together, you start to share finances, housework, child responsibilities if you have them, etc. If you don't think you can share that kind of stuff, it's probably not the right relationship. I make more than my girlfriend, but we still have a shared bank account and I can trust that she's going to be frugal because she knows how I feel about wasting money. If that is the kind of thing that matters to you, you have to find someone that it matters to. Also guys, I'm curious, what type of person are you? Are you the big spender or do you like to save money? To be honest, for me personally, I don't really like spending money, at least on myself, but I like to buy presents for others. You know, as an example, I have no problem buying AirPods for my girlfriend, but for me personally, I would never buy them because I know, yes, they look good, but they are kind of pointless for me. Update to the girlfriend's story. So I figured since the post sort of blew up 3 weeks ago and people requested me to make an update to tell them what I ended up doing, well, here it goes. Well, in the shortest way possible, I ended up breaking up with her. I realized in part, thanks to some good advice I had gotten, there was more that was bothering me other than the financial part. The thing is, when thinking to myself in the next few days, I felt myself combing over every little detail of our relationship and I quickly realized I was putting in way more than what I got back. No, I'm not saying I am some perfect saint, but I do think I deserve someone who appreciates what I already do, especially when what I already do so vastly outweighs what she did in our relationship. Also, a big one was the apparent maturity gap between the two of us, which I looked over with my rose-tinted in love glasses. Whereas I have changed as a person from who I was when we started dating, she is still pretty much the same identical person, and without trying to badmouth her, that is a person you can be without any issues when you are between 15 and 20, not when you are in a committed relationship, thinking about having kids at some point, managing your own finances and planning for the future. And that brings me to the largest issue there, planning. I am a planner, I look out for the future, I am not opposed to wasting some money to do fun stuff while I'm young, but I don't want to risk ending up broke and unhappy when I'm older because I refuse to get serious in my youth, and this is where our personal views seem to clash to an extent where the good no longer outweighs the bad. She constantly lives in the moment and spends what she can spend and is sort of used to an easy ride where the biggest things she ever had to worry about are her grades, but for me, I have faced financial issues since I was young, so I know the value of money and I know that planning can spare you a lot of hurt. I'm not saying either of our views are superior or better. I am saying when you are supposed to be a partnership but you wildly differ on the most basic foundations of that partnership, there's not much hope. As a result, I realized I did not see myself getting more committed to her, which means you sort of hit a roadblock in your relationship. I mean, I'm not a fan of marriage from the get-go, but after such a long time, if you are not even remotely considering it, there is probably a larger issue. This argument about finances brought up a whole load of other issues for me, and honestly, I sort of started to dread what in my mind looked like me being expected to fund a lifestyle I from the ground up do not agree with. I realized I was losing my own self-worth by accepting this sort of stuff, and I realized the fact we had an argument about my money and her demanding to spend half of it made me feel like a glorified ATM. Now, the breakup was really messy and her dad was a rock during the entire thing. He calmed the situation down a lot despite him really hating what was happening, but I think he understood. I cannot say I'm not gutted about all of this. After all, this is someone I was with for roughly 3 years, and getting used to not having her, or her family who I was really close to, is difficult, but in the end, after the initial dust settled, I sort of feel liberated and a lot happier than I did a few weeks ago. I wish her nothing but the best in the future, and I know it has to be without me. As for me, I sort of feel like I get to start over, hopefully find someone a lot more suited to me in the future, but I won't be actively looking for me, as honestly being single after such a long time in a relationship feels kind of nice. I get to focus what little free time I have on myself, which is something I have not been able to do for a long time, and I get to indulge in my hobbies properly and so forth. Anyhow, I want to thank everyone for their advice, and if I was rude to anyone, I'm sorry, but at the time I was in a bad emotional position. However, I'm doing a lot better now, so whether you figured I was a douche and completely disagreed with me, or whether you think I was a good fella and figured I was right, or somewhere on the extremes or in the middle, thanks for your advice. And guys, if you were in OP's shoes, would you have also broken up with your girlfriend? Let us know in the comments. Furthermore, if you have watched until here, please feel free to post some star emojis in the comments and also like the video if you want to support me. Thank you so much in advance. And the last one is titled, I, mailed 32, ruined Christmas and I have no regrets. By the way guys, please let me know in the comments if you enjoy r/relationship advice so far. Anyway, is anyone else's family this dysfunctional? Every year there is an argument in my family, and after 32 years I was the one who blew up for the first time. Long story short, I'm half Korean, half white. My mom is Korean, my dad's side is white. So we only have my dad's side here in the US. For years I have watched some of my dad's side speak down to my mom. They never invite her to things. Me and my brother have always been treated like outsiders by some family members. To be frank, I don't care how I am treated. Every year we always bite our tongues and survive the holidays because it is only 2 to 3 times a year. We repeat the process and don't expect much from these family members. My mom even buys gifts every year for these family members. She gets nothing in return and never complains. My white grandma is 80 and she's the only thing anchoring us to some of these family members. 3 times today I watched a family member, aunt, raise her voice to my mom, speak to her as if she does not speak English, and shut her down over simple questions like, where should I sit? I watched my mom quietly recoil and I could not stand to see it again. This aunt does it the most and I finally blew up. I yelled so loud, everyone stopped what they were doing. I told them enough is enough, to start treating my mom with respect and as an equal in this house. To stop speaking to my mom, who has lived in the US for 35 years, like she does not speak English, and stop shutting her down over simple questions. I watched it happen year after year and will not allow it to happen anymore. My aunt stomped away and was so upset she left. As she was leaving, I walked up to my aunt to hand her my mom's yearly gift to her. I said, "For 30 years I watched my mom give you a gift every year. I watched her speak to you as an equal with respect. I've never seen you treat her with the same." She did not say anything, but before she left, she apologized to my mom. Before I left, I apologized to everyone and explained why I was upset. Everyone was shocked how mad I got. I felt like everyone understood why I was mad. Prior to this, around Thanksgiving, I spoke to some family members about how I was hurt that they never included my mom on family things or even texts about family emergencies, which they have been trying to do more. After blowing up, it made things awkward. People trickled out early too. Now my grandma is talking about not doing Christmas anymore due to the constant family drama. I feel bad, but I've never felt so proud to stand up for my mom. Does anyone have any advice on this? Handling rude family? Should I do something else? Edit, my mom's reaction. On the car ride home, my mom expressed some words about my aunt, which she never does about anyone. She has always taken the high road. It's a very Korean Christian mom approach. My mom's method of being a pacifist is very much an older immigrant/Korean/boomer approach too. It has taught me a valuable skill in life. I don't regret picking my battles, and that is why I am so appreciative of being Korean/white. After we left, she gave me a very long hug. She did not say anything and asked me if I wanted my favorite Korean dish. Where is my dad? He was in the other room. Yes, my dad could have done more over the last 35 years. He has gotten in arguments with everyone my whole life, including this aunt. We would be fighting every year with someone new if we did not pick our battles. We would have stopped going years ago, but mom wants to go out of respect for my grandma. My dad is the only one who is not petty about dumb stuff. Defending my mom is everyone's responsibility, not just my dad, including my grandma, aunts, other family and me. As soon as I got loud, my dad came into the room and stood guard. I cannot describe it. There was not much for him to say or do because he did not hear it. I was quick to unload and my aunt immediately walked away because she was embarrassed. My white side has a "keep grandma happy" approach, which is dumb. For years my dad would be on the verge of saying things and my mom would demand that he didn't. Me, reflecting on this as a whole, I cannot believe the response. It shows you everyone has screwed up family in some way. After Thanksgiving I started to speak to family one-on-one, which has good responses. I have no relationship with this aunt. I should have pulled her aside even as their nephew, who is 30 years younger. A small part of me regrets it and I will be glad to sit down with her still. If she's not willing to try or work it out like the other people responded, F her. Please don't use my experience as a reason to blow up on anyone. I should have tried to speak and I did what I felt was right. I don't regret it. Grandma's 80th birthday is in 2 months and I cannot wait for that to be awkward. Someone made the comment that people cannot be educated until you give them a chance to be aware of their actions, which is fair. Regardless, people will now think twice to be rude to my mom. Cheers and have a happy new year. And a user in the comments rightfully said, someone has to call out the a-holes. And guys, I definitely have to agree with that. Even if you notice racism within your own family, you should always point out when someone is just talking bullcrap. Don't be afraid to stand up. And the next one is an update to the Christmas story. I wanted to update the kind people who took the time to give me advice and affirmation last Christmas when I really needed it. I wanted to provide an update how Christmas and the year went. On to the update. The year has been interesting. Immediately after Christmas, I sent an apology letter to my aunt. It went against some advice, but my letter requested to not let the situation impact the family. I left the lack of any relationship in her hands and shared everything that can change if she gives my mom a little more respect. I decided to send a letter because she lives 3 hours away and I've never spoken to her on the phone more than 30 seconds. I did not think a phone call would help or fix the situation, especially after I blew up. After Christmas, I apologized to my grandma for what I did. I let my grandma know that I sent an apology letter to my aunt. My grandma told me she is and always wants my mom to feel like she is part of the family. I could tell my grandma was on the verge of crying when she said that. My grandma told me blowing up was not okay, but understood why I did it. Hearing that felt really good. In regards to the letter, I got no response. My aunt denied ever getting it. We know my aunt got the letter because when my grandma confronted her about last Christmas, my aunt went to a rant about several things I mentioned in my letter. My grandma did tell my aunt what she did was wrong and she needed to change. In February, my aunt did not come to my grandma's 80th birthday party. She told other family members she did not want to cause an argument, so she did not want to come. My aunt did not come to my grandma's on Mother's Day dinner because she supposedly had to work. My family did not get together the rest of the year. Thanksgiving and Christmas came. Things are not perfect, but Thanksgiving and Christmas went really well this year. I was going to post after Thanksgiving, but the gathering was smaller than usual and I wanted to see how Christmas went. During Thanksgiving and Christmas, everyone was very kind to my mom. It felt like everything shifted, everyone spoke to her differently, and it feels really good. My mom got to help in the kitchen for the first time ever. I know that sounds dumb, but my mom has always wanted to help cook because she loves to cook. It was the first time she did not spend the whole day in the living room. At one point during Thanksgiving, my mom asked me to help her dry dishes. While we were washing and drying dishes, my mom was smiling the entire time. At one point, my mom stopped putting dishes away and randomly hugged me. We laughed and had fun the entire time, no one argued, no nasty remarks, my mom was treated as an equal and it felt really good. In regards to the aunt that I yelled at last year, she came late to Thanksgiving, so late we were eating when she arrived. At Thanksgiving, my mom did initiate the first interaction with my aunt. She was not very conversational, but polite to my mom. My aunt did not look at me the entire time. When she arrived, I went to say hello and she turned away and kept her distance the entire time. She basically stayed in a different room the entire time. She also left early and was the first to leave. The best part? I don't care. I apologized and left future in her hands. If she treats my mom well, she will get nothing but respect in return. Christmas was as if nothing happened. My aunt did not really talk to me, but she was incredibly nice to my mom. I'm okay with that. Both my parents said they have never seen my aunt so nice before. My mom got to help in the kitchen, just like Thanksgiving. This year, for the first time, it felt like my mom was an equal in the family. Everyone was incredibly nice, no arguments or snide remarks or drama. I regret yelling, but it changed everything. I think it put everyone on notice that they need to change. There was a lot of questions and comments about my dad. The comments were hard to hear, but true. It helped me reflect on what my dad has and has not done. The truth is, my dad has been the glue of the family for years. He spent so much time being the middleman and trying to repair issues. At times it has been at the expense of my mom. Regardless, my dad's lack of actions over the years don't make it right. Over the summer I told my dad what I felt. I told him that I was disappointed in him and that his family has never been kind to my mom. I told him he should have done more. My dad did not take it well, but he told me I did the right thing. My relationship with my dad is complicated. I know though that I'm not going to make the same mistakes he has. We are different people and I will do whatever is needed. If you are reading this and have a similar situation, if you have people or someone rude in your family, try to take a moment to sit someone down. Hear them out and try to do the right thing from the start. When you have the convo, stay calm. If they are not willing to hear you, then make it known. Blowing up could have gone either way and I'm lucky it fixed things. Try to loop in other family members before or after so they understand your reasons and can back you for your choice. My post last year gave me affirmation. What I did was right. Follow your heart, it might fix years of issues. And with that, we have reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's content, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel to join our amazing community. Furthermore, don't forget to go to r/ripe stories on Reddit to post your own stories if you want me to read them out in a video. I hope you have a fantastic day and I see you again tomorrow.